I think the discernment process was integral to our congregation's decision to become a day center for the Family Promise nonprofit. Around the start of 2020, one of our more significant partnerships with a different nonprofit changed, and they no longer needed our space. So we still have a really good relationship with them. They were just blessed with a bigger facility to carry out their mission more comprehensively. So we were kind of in this moment where we started to ask ourselves, well, now what? And of course, this was before the pandemic started, but even during those long, difficult years of quarantining, we were engaged with that question, the question of what now? Eventually, Family Promise approached us with the idea of becoming a day center for their operations, and a light bulb went off for us. We were lucky that the now what came to us in this instance. So the pastoral team and I spent several months in discernment, not just prayerfully considering where God might be pulling us, but also in the nitty details of how we might pull something like this off. Our building is pretty active throughout the week, so we wanted to make sure that we fit the puzzle pieces together. And after coming up with a conclusive plan, we approached the congregation with the details. One of the first Sundays back, I presided over a service where we asked them to prayerfully consider where God was asking us to go in our neighborhood, and what might be our capacity for mission. A few months back and forth, workshopping the plan, questions and answers, in one hearty business meeting, the congregation approved the use of our upstairs classroom areas to host the Family Promise guests during the day. I think the congregation has responded really well to this new adventure we've set out on. At first, our people had a lot of questions and concerns, which is completely understandable. This is a really big project that we're wanting to pull off, and it requires a lot of precision and preparation and scheduling to be successful. And I think personally, I spent a lot of those early months being stuck in this awkward place of a feeling like this is where God is wanting us to go as a congregation, but I didn't want to upset my people too much, There were points where I was really worried that I was asking them too much, or that this project was just a little bit out of reach for them. That this was a good project, and they agreed with what the nonprofit was doing, but just not feasible for us. And I'm happy to say that that tension that I was feeling was just completely wrong. It was all in my head, right? The congregation has really taken on the challenge here and has committed to making this work. The congregation knows how bad the houselessness problem has gotten in our community, and we really feel a spiritual pull to try and help, even if just for a few people. One of my favorite stories so far during this whole process was when we had a cleaning day scheduled. We fully anticipated needing to have several organized days of cleaning to rearrange and welcome our new guests. But we had such a large turnout of the congregation members to help sort through boxes and to help haul things away that we completed what was meant to be done in like a month in just a couple of hours. I've been really moved by the congregation's willingness to participate in this project. I think the important thing to know when starting a discernment process is that discernment is all about momentum. In my experience, very rarely do we just have a fully fledged idea that is perfect right out of the gate. The truth is that it takes time, right? We all hit roadblocks, there's complicated problems to solve, there's logistics to plan out, there's organizing and advocating. It can be a really arduous thing, it can be really difficult. And on top of that, the spiritual drive to be open, right? To hear where God might be asking us to go. All of this in combination can feel really, really overwhelming. So the best advice I can give for those who are seeking out discernment is to know that small progress leads to bigger progress. If we attempt really huge projects all at once, it's really easy to get overwhelmed and to be burned out. I want to encourage you to take your time, pray a lot, look around your community, see what doesn't feel right to you. Take your time. Find some folks who share that same sense of concern for your neighborhood and come together to talk about it. See where small steps can take you, and then enjoy the ride.